Hey, I'm ChristopherJMUA and welcome back to my channel. Unless you've never been here, of course, then welcome. I'm so glad you stopped by. Because today we are reviewing the... That was my phone. Oh, please don't be broken. No cracks. We're okay. Because today we are reviewing the Anastasia Beverly Hills Norvina Pro Pigment Palette Volume 4. And if you haven't seen this one yet, you're in for a treat. We are also going to be taking a look at and reviewing the ABH Norvina Collection Cake Liners as well. I got both shades. One is Electric Orange, Opaque White, and Electric Purple. The other is Electric Pink. That looks like red. Electric Pink, Electric Yellow, and Electric Lime. So these are going to be fun to add into the look, assuming that we can create a good one with the Norvina Volume 4 palette. But we won't know until we try. So if you want to see how this palette performs, how the shades work on the eyes, how they blend out, how pigmented they are or not, if you want to know my thoughts on the palette, and you want to see all the swatches of every single shade in this palette, then stay exactly where you are, keep doing exactly what you're doing, and keep on watching. As you can obviously see, this is the unit carton that the palette comes in. It looks just like Volume 1, 2, and 3, except for Volume 1, 2, and 3 were all embossed with some sort of metallic print. And this one is the first one that doesn't have that metallic print on it. I was actually kind of disappointed because I really enjoy the metallic printing. I think it looks pretty, but maybe that's the point. It was supposed to be softer, I guess. Anyway, it's a very soft baby pink shade with the reflective ABH Norvina collection. Then we flip it over, we have all of the ingredients on the back, as well as the name of the palette in the top left corner. Then if we flip it back over and open it up, the palette looks exactly the same as the unit carton on the front. Then if we flip it over, it's black on the back, and it has the Pro Pigment Palette Volume 4 on the back of the bottom. It also shows that it is vegan, cruelty-free, recyclable material. 18 months is the expiration time, and it has the Anastasia logo and a face logo, which I don't know what it's for. Maybe it means it's for the face. Anyways, let's open it and see what she looks like. I'm assuming there is a plastic protector. I assumed correctly. And here is the palette. Very beautiful, in my opinion. Based on the color story, we have some neutral taupey brown tones. We have some rosy shimmers, some silvery shimmers, a blue-purple shimmer. We've got some roses. We have a bright yellow. We have a hot pink, a maroon, a terracotta. It's actually a pretty versatile color story in its own color story, if that made any sense at all. Now that you've seen the shades in the palette, I'm going to go ahead and read the description off of Sephora's website, since that's where I got the palette, and then we're going to jump into swatches. Now, like I said, I did get this palette and the two liners from Sephora. I ordered it online. The palette is $60, and the description on Ulta's website says what it is. A professional-grade artistry palette that features high-performance eyeshadows and pigments with a spring-inspired color story. Yes, it does have a spring-inspired color story. It says, what else you need to know? The limited edition Pro Palette is part of the Norvina collection and features even more Norvina curated shadows and pigments for endless amounts of creative looks. Get inspired with a wide range of highly pigmented spring colors, from fresh floral tones and bright pops to muted mauves and rich neutrals. Then for the electric cake liners, these go for $30 each, and they're actually a stack. If you've ever seen the Melt Cosmetics eyeshadow stacks or the Kaja eyeshadow stacks, really any stacks of products, that's exactly what these look like, except these are water activated liner. The description on Sephora's website says what it is. A trio of water-activated cake liner shades with vivid opaque color and versatile application. What else you need to know? These high-definition, glycerin-based paints deliver long-wearing, intense color that packs a punch. The color-intense water-activated cake liner goes on like liquid pigment and dries to a long-wearing, opaque finish for pro-quality face and body painting. They also glow under UV blacklight. It has exclamation points, so I had to be excited. That's really cool. I did see on the ad for them on the Anastasia Beverly Hills YouTube channel that they glow in a black light. Actually, it's even on the Sephora website. So that's really neat. I don't know if I'm going to be doing any specific blacklight glowing looks today, but who knows what we end up with. We'll find out. Now I'm going to go ahead and zoom you guys in, and we're going to get started on swatches. First is the shade A1. Then A2. A3. A4. And A5. Oh wow, that was really nice. Then the shade B1. B2. B3. Now, B4, I move on to B5, here's B4. Then B5. C1. C2. C3. E4. C5. D1. D2. D3, D4, D5, E1, E2, E3, E4, and E5. And that is the entire Anastasia Beverly Hills Norvina Pro Pigment Palette Volume 4. And you guys know I won't leave you hanging. As always, I will insert photos of the swatches, one with flash here, and one without flash here. And here we've got our beautiful close-up of all these swatches. I've decided that those swatches were quite wonderful. They felt pretty much just as good as volumes 1, 2, and 3, which I did enjoy those palettes. I will have those reviews linked down below in the description if you want to check those out as well, just so you can kind of have your own little compare and contrast for this palette versus the other 3 palettes. They are each their own very unique color story, so it's nice to know what the differences are so that you can kind of pick the one that you're drawn to more than any other one. This one, to me, feels kind of like, if you know Anastasia palettes, it's almost like if you mixed the Norvina palette with the Soft Glam palette. I feel like we're getting color story inspiration from both of those palettes combined. It's just kind of what it feels like to me, in my own opinion. Now, before we jump into a look, I want to make sure that I open the cake liners as well, and I want to swatch these shades too. I want to make sure that I know how to use them, or that I know what I'm doing. It's storming outside. I apologize if you can hear the thunder. My dog can hear the thunder. He's barking at it because it's very scary to him. So here's the unit cartons for the electric cake liners. They're cute. It shows what color the stacks are on the box. Then it's got the actual stack on the side, shows you what it's actually gonna look like. Then on the back, shows you the ingredients. Then on the other side, different languages. And I'm gonna go ahead and open this one up first. That's what the stack looks like, and it just untwirls or spins, rotates, whatever you want to call it. And the top one opens. There's all 3 shades. And that's the other stack. These are really vibrant. You can tell right off the bat that they're gonna be UV sensitive because they are literally electric. I'm actually really excited about these because I have been wanting to build my eyeliner collection for so long, but it's so hard to find good liners that don't get thick and cakey when you're applying them, or that don't end up getting smeary as you're going across them over and over again to build them up, or that aren't opaque enough. All of those things combined make it really hard to use colorful liners. Half the time, I just end up giving up on whatever colorful liner I use, and I just put concealer down and stick an eyeshadow on top of it instead. So hopefully, these are going to be the solution for that problem. So these are water activated. I do have a little spray bottle just with water in it here, and you know, I don't think I'm gonna use a brush. I'm just gonna put a little bit of water on my finger and swatch them on the back of my finger, just so I'm not wasting clean brushes. So I'm literally just gonna take my finger, I'm gonna spray my finger. I feel like that's a lot. Now just the tip of my finger is wet. I'm gonna go into the bright orange. I just tapped it. It's very jelly. It feels like, well, it just feels like a cream, like a gel cream. And there's the orange. Okay. That is opaque. I tapped into the white a few times that time just to see. Kind of smeared it out. It's not as impressive as I wanted it to be. Well, on camera it looks a lot whiter than what it actually does in real life. Now, the purple. They almost feel like gels as they're blending out. These are making my heart so happy. They're so vibrant. Let's see, we still have UV yellow. That looks like a highlighter. And there's the green. That's the last electric cake liner. These look so good. I'm so excited to use these. I'm so excited to own these. I cannot wait until she comes out with more of these too. Maybe we'll see like a whole big giant collection of them, like sets of them. I see so much potential for something like this. Like if she launches Pro Pigment Palette Volume 5 and it's, I don't know, blues and greens. And then she could have a black, blue, and green liner just to pair with the blue and green palette. I don't know, you get what I'm saying. That wasn't a very good example, but you understand. This is also fantastic because of the portability of this. I mean, you can stick this in any kind of makeup bag. They are quite easily movable though. I would be kind of scared that they would open in a bag and get crumpled up and messed up. Might be worth it to keep the box, maybe. Maybe put them back in the box when you're done with them and hold on to it like that. Just a thought, I don't know. I mean, it has a magnet on it, but I just feel like it's not very... You see, it's not very strong. But other than that, I like them so far. Now, I'm gonna go ahead and prime my eyes with my Anastasia eye base, as one would deem appropriate for this review. And I'll be right back. We now have a very solid opaque base down, which is perfect for bright colors, and I'm thinking we're gonna go bright because I have neon eyeliners to use. Well, I should technically go neutrally nude if I want neon liners to make sense, but I need to test out eyeshadow. So we're gonna use as many shades as possible. Yay! I'm gonna start by using my Morphe R37 brush and going into the shade E1. Whoa. Okay. I thought that was gonna be a soft, like, baby pink, but it's a little more than that. Whoops. That's okay. We can work with this. I'm gonna go ahead and put this shade all over and into the inner corner. I was gonna decide, at first I was just going to put it on the outer corner and go in with a different shade in the inner corner, but I don't know, I'm making this up as I go, so we'll find out if that was a bad decision or not. I've decided I'm gonna take a risk here. Why not, you know? YOLO. I'm gonna use my Morphe X Jeffree Star JS6 brush, which is equivalent to the Morphe M433, kind of. And I'm gonna go into the shade C4. And I'm gonna take this right over the inner corner. Huh, that's weird. Why did I do that again? These are blending together like cotton candy melting in my mouth. It's reminding me of cotton candy, that's why I said that. They're very cotton candy-y colors. Now I'm gonna use the actual Morphe M433 brush, and I'm gonna go into the shade A3. This one is gonna go right on my outer corner, right on top of E1. Well, that was a rather interesting effect. Didn't really do a whole lot except change the pink color from a baby pink to more of a purpley pink. So I'm going to use my R37 brush again, go back in to E1 and blend out the edges of A3 with E1. These are building up very nicely. So far so good. No patches. Really, really great pigmentation. I mean, like, kind of surprising on the pigment level. Since I don't have a lighter purple shade than C4, I'm gonna use just my clean Morphe M330 brush and blend out the inner corner. This way, it will blend in that purple with the eyeshadow base, and I'll be left with a lighter purple tone. Or should, anyway. This is also going to help me kind of test the ability of the shadow to blend out after it's built up with a clean brush. So we're gonna see if it's capable. It might be one of those kinds of shadows that once you put it on, it's just there. I mean, it looks like it's getting a little bit softer so far. Just trying to maintain little tiny circular motion right in the inner corner. I think that is about as good as it's gonna get. And that's not bad. It definitely got more smoky. You can clearly see the edge over here is still very sharp. The edge over here is not very sharp. So it did what it was supposed to do. So that's good. I'm really liking this so far. Quite a bit. Now that that's done, I'm going to use this fluffy pointed blending brush. It actually looks a lot like the M330. It might, no, not quite. It's really close to an M330, but this one doesn't have a name on it because it came from a different Morphe collection. But now I'm gonna go into the shade E4. E4 is a little bit deep and not quite as purple as I want it to be, so I'm also going to mix a little bit of A3 with it. Since I put A3 in the crease on the outer corner already, it shouldn't be too difficult to mix them together. So I'm just gonna take E4 first and start incorporating that into the outer corner, then just tap in a little bit of A3. Yeah, there we go. It brought back a little bit more of that pink tone. I just want to make sure that it still ties in with the shades that are already on the outer corner, but that it doesn't look too disconnected. I want it to still look like it's part of the same look. And again, taking it out into that wing type shape, just dragging it out. Oh man, I love me some purples. See, this palette is gonna be one of those kinds of palettes for me that are really easy to make an everyday kind of palette because I love the purple tones, but I also love those mauve-y cool tones on my eye whenever I'm doing just a quick, easy, natural glam look. And this has those shades. Like A4, A5, maybe a little bit of B3, those would be like my go-tos, I feel like. Let me know in the comments if you guys would like to see another tutorial filmed with this palette, because obviously this look is going to be very colorful, but I can try to pull together more of a toned down natural look. If you guys want to see something like that, just let me know. I am here for you. And with all my crease colors blended out, I'm gonna use the R37 again and go back in to the E1 shade. I know, I don't need to hear it. I blend too much, but I'd rather blend too much than not enough. At this point, I'm gonna use this brush with the little point right there on it. It's very, very sharp. And I'm gonna go into my P. Louise X Mitchell Acid Rain collection. This is in the shade Blank Canvas. Now I'm gonna cut my crease. I'm not gonna cut all of it, I don't think. I think I'm gonna do like maybe a quarter cut crease, not all of it. Okay, that's as much as I want it cut. Wow, that looks really good. And then I'm just gonna take my ring finger and pat out the edge. Actually, I'm gonna take any finger that's applicable and pat out the edge because my ring finger took too much product. Just wanna make sure I have a nice, beautiful gradient. Okay, that's fine. I'm good with that. You know what? I think the shade D3 is calling my name. I need a flat brush, and we're gonna see if I can pack D3 onto that blank canvas shade. And we're gonna challenge Miss D3. I'm just using my Beaky Blender. I think it's a Beaky Blender brush, but it's just a flat brush. Ooh, it's actually a really sharp point. I should be using this to cut my creases. But we're not gonna try to finesse her or anything. We're just gonna take her right on the brush and see what she's like. She looks good. She looks like she builds up on the brush quite nicely. Let's see if she applies quite nicely. That wasn't as successful as I wanted it to be, but my base is tacky and it's a very thick base. So let's try it like this instead. That's not working. I can see the pigment on the brush and I can see the pigment going on my eye, but it's not turning into a shimmer. And I think that has something to do with my base. Maybe since my base is still a tad tacky, it's soaking up the powder of the pigment rather than letting it sit on top and shine. I'm gonna keep trying to build it up and see if that is the case. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna take my pinky, go right into D3. Oh yeah, she is a foiled shade. So let's see if that worked. Yes, that definitely got the job done. Okay, so I guess it was just the flat brush. It seems like the longer I do this with eyeshadow palettes, I notice that with just about any shimmer, it's gonna work with a flat brush, it's gonna work with a shader brush, like more like this, like a fluffy shader brush, one that's gonna pick up a lot of powder and let you deposit it, or it's gonna work with a foam applicator. Yes, I said a foam applicator. Before you doubt me, don't knock it till you try it. Because if you ever had a problem with getting your inner corner to pop with a shimmer shade, or if you've ever had a problem with getting precision with a shimmer, or if you've ever had a problem with getting a shimmer to look metallic and foiled, and you haven't tried a foam tip applicator, you're missing out. Guarantee you, you're missing out. All right, so this shimmer shade, D3, is now working beautifully. I am 99% sure that my problem was the fact that the P. Louise Mitchell collection, those are self-setting bases and they set matte. And I'm pretty sure I was an ignoramus and let it sit there for too long and it kind of set itself. It's okay, because I just piled a bunch of eyeshadow on top of it and it worked. So we're good. Just a disclaimer, the shade D3 is like powder bronze. Just so you know, it is one of the most beautiful shades that I think I've ever used. It's like gold, but it's also like champagne, but it's also like silvery reflective. It's just beautiful. And to think I was gonna put a matte brown on my cut crease and then put the neon liner on and just call it good. But then I was like, no, I need to make it more complicated than that because I need to use more shades and see if they blend together. And here we are. Speaking of using more shades and seeing if they blend together, I'm now gonna use this Wet n Wild flat kind of shader brush. And with it, I'm going into the shade B4. It's a much deeper shade than what I was using, but I'm thinking and hoping and wishing and praying that it's going to be essentially the same thing as what's on my lid, just a deeper version of it, so that I can start to progressively move to deepening of the outer area of the eye. So let's see how it applies to the outer lid. It doesn't. Okay. Oh yeah, it does. I just didn't give it a chance. Well, it is definitely close to the previous shade, but it's almost like it has more glitter in it. Let's see the real difference. So D3 is what I used. Now I'm using B4. Oh, okay. So it's really just more of a bronze version. What I did use is more of a champagne. I don't want to waste what I just swatched. So more of a champagne, more of a champagne. What I'm using now is more of a bronze. So more of a bronze. Ooh, okie dokie. With B4 now applied to the outer edges of my lid, I feel like I need to deepen a little bit more. So I'm gonna go back in with the same pointy blender brush that I used earlier in the shade E4/A3 and go back into E4. And all I'm gonna do with this is put it right in my crease once more on that outer edge. But this time, I'm gonna also pull it down onto my lid a little bit. I wanna use this as the shade that goes over the shimmer shade that I have on my outer lid area, so that it starts to blend in to that shade and makes a smooth, even gradient between the shimmer on my lid to the matte shades in my crease. I'm now noticing that the shade B4 had really a whole lot of glitter in it. So I would recommend, at least if you're going to use the shades that I've used, doing your eye makeup before your face makeup, because so far it is kind of a messy palette with glitter. I don't have any pigment fallout at all. I just have glitter fallout, and I really think it's just from that single shade. Wow, you know what? That purple blending into that gold color is actually really pretty. It's like a golden Venetian sunset. I'm gonna use this teeny tiny little bitty brush right here and go into the shade A1. Like I said, wow, that has a lot of pickup on the brush. Very good for pigmentation, possibly. Very bad for fallout, possibly. Let's see what this looks like right here on the inner corner. Ooh, wow. Okay, so that kind of blended in with the gold shade pretty quickly, which makes sense because it's shimmer on shimmer, so it would take a little bit more building up, but that's beautiful. And I kind of want to use it just as the inner corner highlight. Oh no, I was gonna do yellow. I was gonna use the shade D2 as my inner corner highlight. Dang it, I forgot. It's not too late. I'm still going to continue to add A1. I'll have a shimmer inner corner highlight and I'll have a bright yellow inner corner highlight. Who cares? It's my party and I'll cry if I want to. Okay, now before I go in and add the yellow inner corner, because that is going to happen. For sure, it's going to happen. I want to be able to put on my concealer and stuff first. But before I do that, I want to do a brow bone highlight. So let's use this Luxie 246 Precision Crease Brush. Oh, that's for cutting the crease. Well, I'm not going to use it for that. And let's go into the shade C1. I want to use C1 as my brow bone highlight. It's a rosy shimmer shade, so I'm hoping it's not going to be a dreadful brow bone shade. Watch, it's probably going to be too pink. It's not too pink! Oh my gosh, it's beautiful. Okay, love it. Yep. That was great. This brush is probably a little firm for this, but is still getting that pink shimmer and applying it to the brow bone. And that is exactly what I wanted. Can you see that on my brow bone? Oh, if you couldn't, you should be able to now. Wow, that's really pretty. I like that a lot. Oh no, I pushed too hard with the brush and pulled up my eyeshadow base. No, that's not good. Let me, just kind of blend this edge here and cover that back up a little bit. Please fix yourself. That kind of fixed itself. That was a little rough. That built up enough for me. It is a very subtle highlight for a brow bone, but that's okay. It's so pretty. It's like an icy pink. Okay, that is much better. For this one, instead of sliding it on like I did on the other eye, how I was, sliding it on, I patted it onto this brow bone instead, and that was much more effective. I was just really scared of it ripping up the eyeshadow base underneath it like it did on this side, so I wanted to just pat it in, and man, was that a good idea, or what? I'm getting much more shimmer effect out of it. It's a whole lot more foiled than what it was the first time. Okay, that's really cool. I like that. Now at this point, I'm gonna go ahead and clean up the mess that I've made under my eyes so that I have a nice, sharp, clean edge. I'm also gonna go ahead and put on my face makeup, concealer, bronzer, contour, etc., etc. Then I will come back and we will finish off the lower lash line and the inner corner, make sure that the look is complete, and we'll also try the Norvina Electric Cake Liners. So give me just a few minutes, for you just a second, and I'll be right back. So we're back after I finished most of my face makeup. No, wait, all of my face makeup. I was gonna finish off my lashes too, but then I remembered that I have to put on eyeliner, and I'm glad I stopped because I put on a lash primer, but not a mascara. So good news. Now let's go ahead and finish off the lower lash line. I want to use shades I haven't used yet. Let's say the shade C2. And I'm going to use this Morphe X Saweetie Pencil Bullet Blending Brush. Whatever you want to call it, it's pointed and domed. And I'm just going to put this right across that lower lash line, right up against those lashes. This is such a hot pink.
That's hot, 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 that's hot.
But it's not as hot of a pink as E5. Really the main difference between C2 and E5 is C2 has a little bit more purple in it, and I actually think it would pair better with purples than E5. I think E5 is just one of those pinks that's more red based than anything else. Now the fun part, I'm gonna take this fluffier bullet brush, it's not pointed like that one was, and go into the shade C4, which is the cool toned purple, which I'm probably showing you what shades I'm using on screen, so I don't know why I'm explaining them to you, but alas, I did. Now I'm blending out the pink shade with that cool toned purple, so she should end up being a very smoked out, cool, beautiful pink. Oh, by the way, I threw a gold-ish liner in my waterline. I thought it would accent the lid color really well, and I don't know that it did, but what's done is done. It's there. Ooh, that's really pretty. I like that a lot. I mean, smoking a warm pink out with a cool purple, who would have ever thought it? Ugh, I just love how it pulls what we did in the crease back to the lower lash line. Even though it's a different set of colors from the palette, it's still completing a cohesive look, which is really nice. I like that. I'm gonna pull the purple up just a little bit onto the crease just to make sure the blend continues all the way up so we have no weird disconnects. Now I'm gonna take this mini Luxie brush. I don't know what it's called. Oh, Luxie 121 mini tapered brush. I do know what it's called. And I'm gonna go into the shade D2. This is either gonna be the moment of sink or swim. She's either gonna be gorgeous and perfect or a flop, and it's gonna fail and ruin the entire look. Let's find out. A little bit of fallout, brushed away fairly easily, so that was nice. It is not as yellow / green as it is in the pan. See if I can build that up. Better. Much better. I like that. I think I'm comfortable with that. Yeah, that's actually really fun. So I'm gonna use my Morphe 250-0. It is the thinnest liner brush I have, because I want the yellow to be super thin and clean from that inner corner highlight. I want it to almost look like the yellow from that highlight is coming in through my eyeliner. Okay, I got a little bit of water on the brush. I put just the tip in. This is such a tiny little mirror, it's so cute. I wonder if I can do my liner in that. It's gonna be difficult. Okay, I feel like I have the bristles soaked pretty well. I need a real mirror. I can't do that. It seems like one of those kinds of liners that as you're going over the spot you already went over, if it starts to dry out, or if the brush starts to dry out, you need to stop going over it. That's how you know that you're done. You just need to re-wet the brush, get some more product, then go in again. So it looks like the formula is thin enough to build up on the eye and not look thick and cakey, which seems to be really hard to do for brands. I wish that I had tried the Suva Beauty water activated liners because I would be able to compare these to those. Since I can't, I will say cream gel liners, which I've tried and used frequently. This is definitely different than those, and in my opinion works much better. Mainly because you choose the consistency. You mix it the way you want. You want it more wet, get more water. You want it more dry, use less water. I like it. Alright, I went ahead and added a second coat of liner just to see if I could. Turns out you can. So you can stack it up if you want to make it a little bit more opaque. Honestly, it didn't change it too much, but it did help it become a little bit more opaque. Now I'm going to go in with the purple one, and I can use a little bit thicker of a liner brush this time since I'm going to be on the outside. Honestly, using the thinner one, it didn't seem to make too much of a difference anyway because I still got it everywhere. So, it doesn't really matter what I use. I'm going to use the Morphe X Jeffree Star JS14 liner brush. It's quite a thick liner brush, actually. So let's dip some water on it and go into the purple. That's a lot of water. Ooh, maybe I shouldn't have gotten that much water on it. It's because the brush is so thick. It's holding lots of water. Ooh, but it's getting nice and soaked on there. Oh yeah, there we go. Now it's turning into more like a gel type consistency. See, I like it when it gets almost a gel, but still wet enough to like roll around and make puddles, I guess you could say. I want to make sure the outer edge is completely covered in pigment. Then I'm going to go ahead and pull this inward on top of that yellow, get about halfway through. Make sure I got a clean line. Now I'm just going to try and start blending purple with the yellow, hopefully. Actually, while that purple's still wet, I'm going to go back in to the yellow just a little bit. I'm going to re-wet that brush and I'm going to blend the yellow right in with that purple. Very carefully. Come on, ombre for me. Yes, it's mixing now because they're both wet. Okay, they're changing colors. That's what I wanted. Well, that is just super neat. I like that a lot. I like this look a lot too. Okay, I'm gonna stop fangirling over myself and finish off this look. Actually, I'm gonna go ahead and finish the other liner off camera, and I'm also gonna go ahead and put my Anastasia Lash Brag Volumizing Mascara on my upper and lower lashes now that I finish off the lower lash line, and that means I'll be right back with the finished look. I'll see you guys in just a second. Okay, ladies and gentle everything else, this is the finished look. What do you guys think? I love this. I love this quite a bit, actually. I know that a lot of why I love this is because of the bright neon yellow to the purple. I don't know why, but I'm vibing hard. I'm really loving this. Maybe it's the contrast from the yellow popping against the purple. Maybe it's the gold with the, I don't know. I just know I love it. I know I love it. But if we take away the fact that I love the look I created, and we just get down to the nitty gritty, would I be able to give my recommendation for the Anastasia Beverly Hills Norvina Pro Pigment Palette Volume 4? Honestly, for the palette itself, yeah, I really would be able to. You know, quality-wise, it is just as good as Volume 1, 2, and 3. I didn't have any problems out of any of those, and you can check in the previous videos, link down below, if you want to, just to make sure. But with this color story, I think it's a great color story. I don't think it's as neutrally wearable as the third I think it's volume 3 was the one that had the most wearable shades in my opinion. But I prefer this one to the third because this one has more shades in it that I'm drawn to, like my cool tone neutrally browns. Those types of shades always draw me in, so this is probably my favorite one so far. Maybe because it's very soft glammy, and I like soft glammy. And it has purples in it in a way that I can make them purple or I can make them pink if I want to. So definite for sure, 100% yes, recommend the palette itself. And when it comes to the ABH Norvina collection electric cake liners, I legitimately think these are gonna be my new favorite liners. I love these because you are in control of the formula. You can make it extra wet or extra dry. Everybody has different texture on their eyelids. Everybody has different quirks with their own skin that they have to work with. And I think that it's super important to be able to change a formula like this in a way that works for you. I have not the smoothest eyelids, especially whenever I build up shadows on top of it. So whenever I go over shadow with a liner, I usually get texture, no matter what I do. The only time I don't is if I clean off all the eyeshadow and go in with just liner. Then I have no texture. With something like this that I can change the formula with, I can wet it more so that it slides through lines and doesn't jump. Then I can go back over it with a little bit thicker of a formula and make it a little bit more dry so that I go over the wet line with the drier, more gel-like formula and make it where it doesn't have any lines in it. And I love that. It's not like a cream gel where it's already set the way that it's set. And I think that's really cool. I don't know how much I like the idea of a trio for $30. I think I would have rather have had individual shades for $10 each. They could have even been in little component things like this, but I think it would have been really cool to be able to just kind of mix and match your own colors rather than the 3 that you get. Like, what if I didn't want orange, white, and purple? What if I wanted orange, yellow, and purple? I couldn't do that. So instead of spending $30 for 3 shades that I want, I have to spend $60 for 3 shades that I want. I mean, I actually wanted them all. I was gonna buy them all anyway, but you get what I'm saying. You don't have the option to change it if you want to. And if they're going to make more shades with these liners in mind, then I could see that being an issue later on if you do want to mix and match. But who knows? This is a new introduction to the brand, so this could change as we go along, or I don't know, not. You never know. But I definitely recommend those as well as liners because of the formulation of them and how they work. So really, I think this was a pretty successful review overall. I really like the look. I really like the eyeliner. It all came together in the end. Really, everything was smooth from the very beginning all the way to the end. So I didn't have any problems out of it. Well, that's it from me for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed the review. If you did, please don't forget to give me a thumbs up because it does let me know that you like my content. But it also lets everybody else know that you like my content. So it really helps me out if you guys do like the video. Also, if you like this look and you want to see more looks like them, you can follow me on Instagram, Twitter, and Snapchat. My username is the same for everything. It's just ChristopherJMUA. And if you gain nothing out of this video, if you gain nothing out of any of my videos, then please at least gain this. And that is to always remember and to never forget that you are absolutely beautiful. And I love you guys. Bye.